Let's look at what is known as the fraction. Now, sometimes the fraction is referred to as part of a whole, a part of an entire object, idea, population, whatever it is. All right. Now, let me first of all represent my whole as a circle, entire circle. I will cut this directly in two and shade this portion. Then I represent this as a fraction. The fraction I would use to represent it would be 1 divided by 2, where this one is called the numerator and the 2 is called the denominator. Now, the numerator is really telling how many equal parts. No, the denominator is really telling how many equal parts there are. So there is one part here and the second. All right, so there are 2 equal parts. This is telling you how many equal parts you're looking at, because you divide this into a number of equal parts. The numerator is telling how many of them I'm examining right now, how many I'm interested in. In this case, how many I shaded. So I shaded 1 part out of 2 equal parts. So I have this as a fraction, which is called a half. So a fraction, it can also be considered, for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apples, and I share the apples equally among 2 persons. So one gets half and the other gets half. So I divide the number into 2 equal parts. One person gets 3, the other person gets 3. So therefore, what I have, if I'm interested in these and I am the one who gets these 3, I would say I get 3. I got 3 out of 6 of them. But remember, the fraction here is really half of the total. So I can divide down and say this is equivalent to 1 out of 2, 1/2. Now, in a case where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 8 apples. It could be a case where I get 4 out of the 8. Somebody else gets the other 4. So I get 4 out of 8. So in this case, the 4 is telling me how many I got, and the 8 is telling me how many parts there are, 8 of them. Now this is equivalent to 1/2. 4 into 4 is 1. If I cancel down like that, 4 into 8 is 2. There are 2 4s in 8, because I have 1 4 up here, and down here I have a 4 plus another 4. So I have 1 4 out of 2 4s, so it's 1 out of 2. Just like in this case, I could have 1 3 up here and then 2 3s down here to represent the 6. 3 plus 6. I have 1 3 out of 2 3s, so I have 1 out of 2. Alright, so I can say 4 out of 8 is equal to 3 out of 6 is equal to 1 out of 2. Alright, 4 out of 8, you might have guessed it, that is also equal to 2 out of 4. because if I consider pairs of apples, right, and I have 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs of apples, I have a total, the total of 4 pairs. Total number of equal parts is 4. That's the denominator. I get 2 pairs of apples out of the 4, so it's 2 out of 4. So I can also say 4 out of 8 is also equal to 2 out of 4. So I can say here, let me just erase these for a while, is that 1 out of 2 half is the same thing as 2 out of 4, which is the same thing as 4 out of 8, and so on. So the denominator tells you the total number of equal parts. The total number of equal parts are available, and the numerator tells me how many that I get, or how many it is that I shade, or how many it is that I do, whatever it is, to how many it is that I am interested in. So this is a half. Let's look at another fraction. Say we look at my whole here, one entire circle, and I cut it into 3 equal parts, and I shade this part. Let's say this is a cake, a bulla, and I want to eat this portion. There are 3 of us, and I get this portion. It's shared equally between all 3 of us, and I cut it into 3 equal parts, and I eat this portion. What fraction did I get? I get 1 part out of, to a total of 1, 2, 3, out of 3 equal parts. You see that? I get 1 part out of 3 equal parts. Alright. Now, if one person says, hold on, I don't like this flavor of bulla, and gives me to eat, how much do I get now? I get 2 out of 3 equal parts. So I get 2/3 of it. So there is 1/3 here and the other third here. I get 2/3 now. So this is 1/3, right? 1 out of 3. One of the third, 1 out of 3. This is 2/3, 2 out of 3. Now, if the other person say, I've eaten already and I can't have any more, and gives me their portion, then I get all 3 to eat. And now, how many parts did I get? 3 out of 3 equal parts. In other words, I get 1 whole bulla, an entire bulla, 3 out of 3, 1 whole, which is 3/3. Alright, now let's look at one more fraction. In this case, I have my whole and I cut it into 4 equal parts. When I shade here, or if I say this is an entire bulla cake and I get this portion, I will, out of 4 of us sharing it equally, I would get 1 out of 4. The numerator is 1, the denominator is 4. So there is 1 part numerator, out of 4 equal parts available, the denominator. So I get 1 part out of the 4. All right. Now, if, for example, it's cut into 4 equal parts, and I received 2 out of the 4 equal parts, what I would get is really a half of it. If you consider these two equal parts, over here I get 1, and somebody else probably get the other 2. So it's 1 out of 2. All of this out of both of them, 2 halves. So in this case I have a half of it. This was a quarter of it. All right. Anyway, we'll take a break from it now and continue next time.